welcome back to another episode of Two Joes and a Pro. As always, it's your guy Kenny, Ryan, and Brian, and it's been an eventful week for sure. So let's get straight into it.
We got so much.
Yeah, I'm not even wasting any time because I know you guys are doing good because I see you every day now. So anyway, the NBA playoffs has been amazing thus far. It's been a lot of exciting games. From last week, we kind of knew a couple of teams already submitted their, selves into the second round. Dallas has did the same by beating the Utah Jazz. Who else was still playing? I think the Miami Heat was still playing at that time.
I think it was the Sixers.
Oh, no, 76ers, my bad. 76ers were playing at that time. They ended up beating the Toronto Raptors as well. And then the Grizzlies ended up beating the Timberwolves, right? So getting straight into it from there, I think starting from the least exciting to the most exciting, right? There's none. All the series are exciting, right? It just depends on what you want. If you want physical, if you want finesse, you want grittiness, they got it all to offer, right? So starting with, I guess the least exciting because they don't have all the players yet, was going to be the Heat versus 76ers. The Heat is gritty 101, right? Kyle Lowry's not playing, but the Heat is doing their business, right? They're taking care of business. I know Joel Embiid, he got a orbital fracture, right? Orbital fracture or something like that. He had to get stitches, so he's supposed to be reevaluated, I believe, this week sometime. But they went down 1-0 to the Heat, and then currently right now I know they're playing right now. They're losing right now, so we'll see what happens. I know that's going to kind of affect things a little bit. I know Harden is not being Harden of late. A lot of people saying he doesn't have the same separation and things like that. But the first game they got blew out by 14, and now they're losing by 13. So Joel Embiid needs to do the Batman call or something. Tobias Harris, the supporting cast, people need to wake up, because if not, it's going to be sweep season. I think they might win 4-1, but the Heat is like Brian said, right? It was a team that he was scared about with the Boston Celtics is the Heat, just because of their grittiness and how they play defensively, right? And as a team, they are really cohesive together, right? Everybody knows their role. Nobody's trying to play, beyond themselves, right? They don't really have a crazy superstar, even though Jimmy Butler is a superstar, but he doesn't act like that. Act like that as far as mentality. He just wants to win. And I think that's what makes them dangerous. So getting into, I guess the second exciting series is going to be on the West Coast. It's going to be, Dallas versus Phoenix. So I know Devin Booker at first, he was nursing that hamstring injury. He's back, right? So it's them versus Luka. Luka's been cooking. But, Phoenix went up 1-0. The game was great. I think that game Luka had 40-something. But he really has to be a superhero every game for them in order to win that series, right? Because he doesn't have enough supporting cast, right? I know Jalen Brunson was good when Luka was out versus the Utah Jazz, right? He needs to perform the same way. I know they're really missing Tim Hardaway. So it should be interesting because Luka is Luka. He's going to be a Showtime. He's going to show up and play. But Devin Booker, Chris Paul, those guys out there, I really firmly believe they are trying to win, the NBA Finals. Like, they have a good chance. So they're trying to get back. And it looks promising for them. Getting straight from that, then you're going to go to, Brian's going to disagree with me on this, but the second best series, I think, right now is the Boston Celtics versus the Milwaukee Bucks. They're tied right now at 1-1. Milwaukee came out the gate. The first match, they won 101-89. The Celtics, it was really a good shooting night for the Bucks. The Celtics wasn't shooting well at all. And Milwaukee was playing decent defense, right? But the misses from the Celtics covered up and made it look like they're just playing outstanding. But they were really, they just was knocking down shots. The second game, though, Jaylen Brown showed up early. He said, I'm letting y'all know right now I'm not playing. He showed up early, and he was busting ass. He was really going to work, right? And I take back, Brian mentioned this, I think like 3 weeks ago. he said, man, Jason Tatum is a star. He's better than KD. I'm not saying he's better than KD, but the way he's playing right now, he is a superstar. Like, he is a walking bucket. Like, the way he's playing right now is just crazy. Like, I don't know if you guys got the opportunity to watch that series, but he's really coming into himself as, like, yeah, LeBron, everybody's getting old, y'all moving off. Guess who's stepping up? Jason Tatum. Like, Jason Tatum, Devin Booker, John Morant, we will get into it later, right? Those guys, different level. Brandon Ingram, right? Like, these guys are starting, you're like, hold on, I didn't even see you like that. I didn't even know you could hoop. Jason Tatum is just different. Like, Giannis can't do nothing with him. Like, Giannis guarding him, he's like, listen, bro, I'm just going to put you in the blender real quick. Like, and he's just super confident right now. And I'm taking back my comment that I said about, you know, the Boston Celtics, because if they can get past this, I know they're going to have a hard time if they play the Heat. Saying the Heat goes through. If the Heat doesn't and they play the 76ers, it's crazy. Boston Celtics going to the finals. We might have to take the trip up to Boston, right? But if not, I think the Heat might give them a run for their money. But the way they're playing right now, they're so in sync. And they have a lot of people that's playing well. Grant Williams, you know, had a big game, right? And I talked about Grant Williams, right? He had a big game. Pritchard is starting to, you know, find himself getting some sneaky buckets here and there, right? What's his name from Texas A&M? He's starting to play like a big for real. So it's a lot of pieces that they got going. And I'm not going to take away from Giannis. Giannis is being Giannis, but without Chris Middleton, it's really hurting him. And, you know, since I believe Brian said he's out for the series, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for them to, you know, beat the Celtics, just Giannis by himself, because Grayson Allen is, you know, sometime Drew Holiday, that's not really his game to give you 30 points a game, right? So it's like, who's going to step up? Bobby Portis? Let's be serious. So that's my takeaway from there. So I applaud Brian. I know Brian has something to say, so I'll let him give his 30 seconds of fame. So go ahead.
I'm glad you're saying all this, because you're like a curse, Kenny. Like my son would say, you're a curse. Because
you're a curse.
Put it out there,
Shout
man.
out to Logan. Shout out to Logan.
The Celtics are going to come out and be shit the next, like, 3 games. I can't wait. Yeah. It's going to be great.
No.
All because of you, Kenny, and you could blame Kenny.
Listen, I'll just say this. The series can come down to this. Both teams are playing well defensively, but it's going to come down to the fact that the Bucks are willing to give up the 3 and they clog the paint. So it's up to the Celtics to make the shots. They're going to get open looks. They got open looks in game 1, didn't hit them like Kenny said. Game 2, they're making everything. So, but I think both teams have been playing well defensively. And the fact that the Celtics are willing to go one-on-one against Giannis, it doesn't leave as many outlets for him. They're not crashing on him and letting him just dish it. Yeah, they're just accepting, like, hey, we might stop him every now and then. We're going to limit him as best we can, but we're only going to dedicate one guy to him. And, you know, instead of getting 40, maybe we get him down to 25 or something, you know, like that, and just accept the loss there, because as long as you defend the rest of their team, I don't think that they can score enough points to keep up. I mean, the Celtics can score 120 a night if they're really shooting well. So I think the Celtics, they made the adjustments they had to make, and they're gonna take the series probably in 6.
I agree with that assessment, right? As long as they continue to perform how they do now, I agree with that, right? And it doesn't say they have to have a crazy shooting, because what they did, you know, game 2 was a crazy shooting night. If they just shoot, you know, their average for the season, it's hard for the Boston, for Milwaukee to beat them. So shout out to them again. I know Brian's excited about that, and I know we'll touch on hockey later because you're going to be talking about his guys, right? So busy weekend for him. The most exciting series for me is definitely going to be the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Golden State Warriors. I personally hope Memphis Grizzlies, you know, go all the way, because my pop said, oh, if they go, I'm going to buy us tickets to the game. I said, all right, cool. And them tickets going to be expensive in Memphis. But I definitely want to go to the finals. I've never been to the finals, so that'd be super dope. But they have their hands full with, you know, Golden State Warriors. They let game 1 get away. They had an opportunity to win game 1. They could be up 2-0 right now. John Morant missed that layup. They got blessed in game 2 because I think Clay and Steph shot, I think they shot something like 18 for 44 from 3-point or something like that. Never has happened again. Sorry. If anybody, this is a BK bet early. If anybody goes look on, what the spread is for Klay Thompson on Saturday, if it's 25 or more, put the house on Klay Thompson to have 25 or more. What Charles Barkley said, guarantee it. I'm telling you right there, there's no way in hell that Klay Thompson is going to have another bad shooting performance like that. 5 for 20 something, that's not happening. That's dead. Not happening. Anyway, John Morant went crazy. Game 2 had 47 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, something like that along those lines, close to triple double. He literally has to do that every game. That's the sad part. Right, because Desmond Bane is not playing like how he was versus the Timberwolves. So with that being said, Jackson has to play more efficiently. He has to have a game 1 every time. That's not going to happen because he only averaged double digits, I think 11 or 12 in the series 1. So John Morant has to do this continuously, right? So it's like an AI. It's like AI in 2000. That's what John Morant has to be right now. But hopefully his body holds up. I know Dylan Brooks, he was ejected out of the game for fouling, GP2 hard, or Gary Payton Jr. hard, and he fractured his elbow, so I think he's out for the season for sure. And it's just that series by themselves is just really physical. Like the refs are not even blowing the whistle. It's like they out there brawling. Like it's so many technical fouls, stitches, bloody. Like it's just super gritty.
I think Memphis got them. I think the refs are letting everybody play, honestly.
That is true. It's
just some teams aren't as physical as, them two.
Yeah, Memphis got them down there playing whoop that trick, hustle on flow. They out there crazy. Draymond Green flicked off a fan because they were like cheering for him, and I thought it was pretty funny what Draymond Green said. He said I make $25 million a year. If you gonna cheer while I walk off because I'm injured or whatever the case may be, he said, "Fuck you, like who cares? I'll pay that fine." That's too easy. So Anyway, that's NBA for me, man. I hope you guys appreciated that. Those games that's going on right now.
All right. Well, let's get into hockey. We're in the playoffs in hockey. I managed to fill out a bracket. It was kind of last minute. There wasn't enough time really for us to put anything out for a bracket challenge. And it was on a Sunday. I don't know if many people would have gotten in time. Because the game started on Monday. So it was like a 24-hour turnaround for when you knew who was in and who was playing and all that. So for the first round, I happened to go with in the West. I picked Colorado in 6. I got St. Louis in 5 and Calgary in 5 and LA in 7. I think LA's been playing pretty well here at the end of the season. So I think that they're going to surprise people a little bit. And then from the West, going all the way, I got St. Louis personally. I think that they're just a tough team. They're heavy. Their forwards play heavy, so they might not be the fastest team, but they're gonna get into the zone with the puck, and they're gonna be digging at the boards. They're gonna be body checking. It's gonna be rough for whoever they play. I know couple years ago they beat the hell out of the Bruins. They just beat them up. So the St. Louis Blues, I have them going from the West.
Well, Carolina busting y'all ass right now. So
yeah, well, let me get to that.
I guess getting your ass whooped is something common for the Bruins in the playoffs.
Let me get to that. So in the East, I have Florida in 5. I have Tampa in 6. I have Pittsburgh in 7 over the Rangers, and then I picked Carolina in 6. The Bruins against Carolina is not a good matchup. I'm a Bruins
4-1.
fan. Huh?
I said 4-1.
I know. They're not a good matchup.
Reverse jinx it.
I'm saying the series is going to be 4-1. Y'all might get one game, but they're going to beat y'all.
Well, 4-1. Yeah. I mean, probably it might be a sweep at this point. I mean, they're down 1-0. They're down 1-0. Listen, they're up 1-0. Hurricanes are, and they're up 4-1 right now in the game 2. So, listen, the Bruins have only scored now 2 goals against Carolina in 6 games. 2 goals. It's just a bad matchup, and I knew going into it, I was like, I want to pick the Bruins, but it doesn't make sense. And I actually,
but they ass.
Yeah, I actually have Carolina going to the finals to face St. Louis, and then I have St. Louis winning the whole thing. I think Carolina's a really good team. They have been all year. That's why they're the number 1 seed, so they're going to handle business. Let's see the other. I'll just
it's great
real
analysis.
quick. Hey, I know a little bit of hockey. Right now, the Lightning are up 3-0. 3-1 against the Maple Leafs in Game 2. Toronto is up 1-0 right now in that series. Let's see. St. Louis leads 1-0 in their series.
You don't think that Tampa Bay is going to repeat?
No.
Why not?
I just think Carolina is just a better defensive team, and they're aggressive in their own zone. I don't know. I mean, Tampa has the names. Let's put it that way. They have the names.
They've been consistent too, though. Like over years, consistent.
I know. I'm well aware, but Carolina is just that they were up and coming, and they're here now. They're
Boston Celtics.
They're the Boston Celtics of the NHL.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think that I like them, but I got the Blues winning it all, so that's just me.
I'm saying either Tampa Bay or the Blues.
Okay. I mean, that's not bad picks. Don't get me wrong. Tampa's a good team.
Yeah, I like their name. This stacked. If any team I watch is Tampa Bay, but that's it. I don't know much of that. The Ducks, the Knights. That's it.
Oh man. Yeah. So I mean, we'll have more updates next week on who's doing what, but you just expect the Bruins to get swept. They suck right now, and it's a bad matchup. We'll move on to baseball. We're technically a month in, but really we're only we're a month in, I guess, by game wise. There's about 23 games played or so.
I had a hockey question, but I guess you already went on.
Go for it.
I was wondering why they don't reseed in the playoffs, after the first round. Is there a reason for it, or they just?
I don't know. Why doesn't the NBA?
Yeah,
it's just the way they have it.
Yeah, why?
They just have a structure like that.
That was the structure they chose to go with.
Lazy. That's what it is.
Well, in hockey, you have 3 people in the same division, and then there's 2 wild card. One of the wild card goes into that 3-team bracket. Sometimes it might be a 4th person from that same division, or it might be from the other division. But they play each other, so it's basically like your winner of each division goes to the conference championship, and then you have the finals. That's basically how they have it structured. I don't think the NBA is quite like that. I know because they have 3 divisions, and so it's a little bit different. But
who has 3 divisions?
The NBA, right?
We have 2.
Oh, when they switched that? I thought they had the Atlantic and Central and South.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking. Yeah, my bad.
Divisions.
Right.
You were talking about
2
conferences.
divisions. Yeah, I thought you were talking about conferences. My bad. They have 2 conferences. Yeah, they have their 4 divisions.
But NHL has 2 divisions in each conference. That's why. So, the division plays each other. Winner comes out of that, plays the winner of the other division to see who goes to the championship.
Okay, I got you.
That basically
the
that's
NBA, it doesn't really matter in the NBA like that. That's cool to have the division, but they don't really care about that.
Right.
They went away from that model. It's really just the best record in that conference. So
I don't know why
and
they don't reseed.
There's nothing for getting first, right? There's no bye week or nothing like that.
No.
Right? Nah, you just play. You play just the lower seed. I guess the 10th seed or whoever the 8th seed is at that point in time.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Sorry. Go. Baseball.
All right. Baseball.
Talk about the Yankees.
Yeah, your best team in baseball right now is the New York Yankees. Oh man, it hurts me a little bit to say that.
Are we recording? Oh sweet, I'll cut that. We'll loop it.
Yeah.
New York Yankees. Yeah.
Listen, they're the best team in baseball right now. I can't say anything bad about them. So.
I was just waiting. Usually people talk trash about the Yankees, but then whenever they do good, they're like, That's what happens when you have the most money
it's not the same thing anymore. That isn't. No. We don't have the biggest payroll no more. I thought.
I mean, well, I think they're still in the top 5.
Yeah, but we don't have any big players that we pay a lot of money for, right? That's actually worth a shit. We just have a lot of money on the books from people that we overpaid. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's not like the Dodgers, right? When they have like actually good players.
The Dodgers are disgustingly stacked right now.
Oh my god!
So
the Yankees are third in payroll.
Yeah,
but I'm saying the people that they sign to those big payrolls, they should get what's his name should get smacked. Cashman should get smacked.
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. Right now, both New York teams are leading their divisions, and both LA teams are leading their divisions. So, New York and LA. It's just they're triumphant right now. The Red Sox forgot how to hit. They haven't been able to hit all year, so that's why they've only won one series. That's not good. You have to win series in order to be good in baseball. So I'll just say right now, the Red Sox below. But
you said this last year.
Yeah, it's early. So you never know. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, that and then the other two teams are leading their divisions right now. The Twins in the Central for the AL, and then the Brewers are leading the Central for the NL.
That's a little surprising with the Twins because they've been a little
well
these last couple years.
I mean, the Central is
it's early. I get it, but
the Central's like this toss-up division, kind of like. I wouldn't be surprised if any team won that, except for maybe the Tigers. I think the Tigers suck, but the other teams are pretty. They're comparable, I guess. I mean, the Twins have talent. They paid for talent. They paid for Correa in the offseason. But then they trade away Donaldson. So I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, is Miguel Cabrera still playing?
Yes. Yeah. Oh,
bro, he probably has the craziest contract, that 10 or 13-year contract to get all that money, and it's like he's still playing.
Bro, he is 39, I believe. I think I might be wrong. Don't quote me on the age, but he's getting up there in the age. And he just passed 3,000 hits. I don't know, maybe a week or two ago. Actually, I think I brought it up, but if I didn't, sorry. He's like one of 12 players ever to be 3,000 hits and 500 home runs.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's had a great career. He's one of the best hitters of all time. So
he's one of my favorite players of all time for sure. That he goes under the radar just because he's in Detroit and he just rotting away, right? But he's definitely saving some money because Detroit it's getting a little bit more expensive, but it's cheap.
Yeah.
And shout out to Dusty Baker too.
Yeah. He just was it 2,000 wins?
Yeah, 2,000 wins and 40 playoff victories. I think he's like one of 12 at the same to do that.
That might be where I got the 1 of 12 from.
Oh, okay. Hey, hat trick pull out the hat.
Hey, yeah. So Dusty Baker, great manager. But then again, I mean, he was coaching Barry Bonds for a long time, so.
Oh my god,
that's a lot of wins right there.
On to football.
Yeah, that's all I got. Go ahead.
That's it.
Yeah.
Do you have actually NFL news, or do you want to get straight into the draft recap?
Well,
okay, cool.
We can get into draft recap right after, but I do want to get some stuff out of the way for NFL news.
My bad, big dog.
So, D-Hop suspended 6 weeks. PEDs. He was going to appeal, and then he withdrew his appeal. So I'm assuming he was taking something, or his trainer was giving him something that he thought was legal, and it turned out it was illegal. So that kind of sucks for anyone that has him on fantasy, and if you're a Houston Texan Arizona Cardinals fan.
Well, blast from the past.
I know, right? It's because we were talking about Houston earlier. Also, we could cover this during the draft or during the recap, but I'll cover it now. I want to get your guys' thoughts on some big player moves during the draft. So we had the Eagles acquiring AJ Brown. So that was a pretty big move. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that.
I like it for the Eagles. Actually, for both teams, but I like it for the Eagles because it's the type of receiver that Jalen Hurts needs. A guy that can come across the middle. He's used to running short routes anyways. Because Hurts, he's not going vertical down the field a lot. He needs that possession receiver, so I think it's a good fit for him. And with Tennessee, they ended up getting a guy was his player comp was AJ Brown, so they got the same type of receiver. They just basically reset on that player.
Yeah, I mean AJ Brown's a dog.
Yeah.
So
well,
it's
I know.
Commodity.
Burks he's going to be good. Burks is going to be good. I wouldn't have gave up A.J. Brown just because I understand he wants the money, but he's been playing. I think the biggest thing was health issues. They didn't want to give him all that money. He hasn't been healthy these last 2 years, having these little hamstring nicks and stuff like that. But I think it's an awesome pickup for the Eagles. I think it's probably one of the first things they did correct in the last couple of years. I think that it gives Devontae Smith the opportunity to really not have too much pressure on him, which I don't think that it was any problem with him, right? But I think just having somebody else that's a dominant receiver and not being the only guy is going to make him better as well. And it gives, Jalen Hurts, like you said, a blanket. I think all they need now is to decide whether or not they're going to give, Miles Sanders the ball. And if they can figure that out, then I think they might be a force to be reckoned with in the East.
Man, why do they hate Miles Sanders so much? I don't get it.
I have no idea.
I feel like he's a pretty good running back.
He doesn't have the draft capital. I don't know. Because he sat behind Saquon?
So what?
I have no idea, man. I'm just making up crap now.
Anytime they give him the ball in a game, he does well with it. Like, I don't know.
If they give him, he's a volume running back. Every time he gets more than 15 carries, he balls out. The thing is this, they want to have this, running back by committee, I'm going to give him 4 carries. You didn't do anything? No, bro, because I got to get the touches. Yeah. He needs the touches, right? He's just like Antonio Gibson. They need touches. You just can't give them 2 or 3 carries and it's like, okay, cool, now be productive. Nah, that's not Reggie Bush.
Tyrann Mathieu is signing with the Saints, so he's going back home.
To the crib.
Yep. I figured everyone figured that was coming. Yeah. Trying to scroll down and see what we got. They announced the London games. So the schedule gets released, I think, next week on the 12th. But they released the 3 London games that are happening next year. It's going to be the Vikings versus New Orleans on October 2nd, the Giants versus Packers on October 9th, and the Broncos versus Jacksonville on October 30th. So those will be the 3 London games, and that's those 9:30 games Eastern time. I love those games. You wake up, football, best.
Right to it.
Yeah. Trying to think what else. I think
Brown.
Oh yeah, Marquise Brown is the other big trade that happened. So the Ravens basically they got a wash. They drafted him with a first round pick, and then they just traded him for a first round pick. Marquise Brown, I don't think liked the way the Ravens offense was utilizing him. So they were like, I gotta get out of here. So it was kind of
he requested a trade.
Yeah, but I think this works for both parties. The Ravens can't utilize him. No offense, Lamar, but they can't utilize this guy because if Lamar's only hitting on 20% of his deep ball throws, he that at one outlier year where he was the MVP, he hit on a ridiculous number of his deep ball throws. So he had that one good year, but then regression happened, and he can't hit on those deep balls a lot, and that's unfortunately where what's his name shines, Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, I think Hollywood Brown is just he's one dimensional, right? He's not a possession receiver that fits the Ravens scheme, right? And I don't think that has anything to do with Lamar. I think that has to do with him being a smaller stature type of receiver. Him not being a possession receiver, being a big play type of guy. And if this offense is not a spread offense to do that, then it doesn't fit his system. So I think, like you said, to your point, it was good on both parts. I like that he didn't make a big ruckus about requesting a trade. Went in there and talked to them quietly, and then they did right by him. So I think it's right on both halves. I know Lamar wasn't happy about it, but I know Kyler. He made his name big off of Kyler, and him getting to this last part of his contract, right? If he wants to get a good deal, he needs to put up some numbers because right now it don't look too good, right? He looks like a bust. So getting there, I know it hurts him a little bit with Hopkins not being there. But when Hopkins gets back, I think he'll be productive and he can fill into that Christian Kirk role a little bit better because I think he's faster than Christian Kirk. And they still got that chemistry.
Yep. And they still got Andy Isabella, AJ Green, I think, is coming back.
Rondale Moore.
Rondale Moore, baby. And then Grady Jarrett.
Receiver.
Yeah, and then Grady. Well, they're small quarterback too.
That's true.
The Falcons re-signed Grady Jarrett.
Leave it there. Leave it there.
Dude, you know what I love when Bleacher Report does those gridiron heights, and they always put like Kyler as like a little kid, like he's like with the other guys. He's like, "Hey guys, hey Tom."
I never seen that.
Yeah, I'll send you a video.
Yeah, you gotta send me that.
All right, that's it. I think. Hopefully, until
all right. Well, let's get straight into it, man. Like the great debate this week is not really a debate. It's going to be more, just a discussion. We're going over the draft recap. A lot of stuff happened in the draft. A lot of picks, and things like that. So I want to get you guys' takeaway. Let's get straight to it.
All right. I want to start it off real quick. I just want to say this, that for all you people that really care about the draft and analysis and all this, just know that even the leading experts out there don't know anything. We don't know anything about these players. So reaching and draft grades and all this crap, nobody cares. Okay? Because, for example, in 2019, one Mel Kiper Jr. gave the Patriots an A grade. That was the year they picked N'Keal Harry first round. So, just saying, the experts don't know anything. So we don't know anything, but we're still going to give you our opinion. Now, Go ahead. That's all I wanted to say.
I didn't think I think a lot of our picks a lot of you guys' picks are spot on, right? Like, think about it. I remember last week y'all said the first two picks was right?
Brian had them right, but
Brian had them right. But I'm saying we covered the first two picks, right? I know you guys were talking about Sauce going at number 3, right? And I said Stingley, right? Brian said no, Sauce is number 4 to the Jets. So that paired up like that because we mentioned both names. Thibodeau goes to Giants. I know Ryan said if that happens, it's a steal, right? Yeah. It happened. So it's kind of like you're predicting the future. Offensive tackle, we talked about that. Like, I don't think give yourself his credit. We said Drake London. We thought if he was going to go higher, but we said if he goes, whoever gets him first he's going to be a bum, right? I said it more so.
Yeah,
but
they got another. The Falcons are like going ham on tight ends. That's what Drake London is. He's a tight end to me, in my eyes. Like, so
I wouldn't go that far.
They have Pitts and Drake London.
He is. I know what you're saying about that. Yeah,
he's big, not very fast. Yeah,
he's fast, but he's not quick.
Right. Yeah.
Dude, there are reports that he ran like a 4.7. I mean,
where's those reports at?
If you look it up, he his official time was like a 4.5, but I'm just saying he's not that quick.
That's what I'm saying.
He should not have went first. Quick. He should not have went first.
They're gonna kill them. Oh no, let me not say that. They're going to hurt themselves, right? When they look back at it and think about it, they could have had Wilson, Olave, Jamison Williams. Like, those are 3 people. Just like, what was that draft that everybody's like, man, this who you draft? Oh, the Packers. You guys, the Patriots, right?
2019.
You guys you picked him over these guys? Yeah. Justin Jefferson, all those guys? That's what you're going to see.
There's A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf.
I'm gonna pull a Brian here and talk about my team real quick. I think the Giants got exactly what they wanted. they threw out a bunch of stuff about this, like Charles Cross. Don't get me wrong. I think Charles Cross is going to be a good offensive tackle, but like there was a lot of reports coming out before that they were like they're not really high on Evan Neal, and that they were probably going to go with like Charles Cross. They were really enamored with him, and then when they had the decision, because Icky went right before them with the 6th pick to the Panthers, they took Evan Neal when they had a choice to take either Evan Neal or Charles Cross, and like they were like, we're taking a tackle, and everyone's like, oh, they're probably going to take Charles Cross, and then where's Evan Neal going to go? And the Giants were like, no, we're taking the best tackle in the draft in Evan Neal, which in my mind he was the best pure tackle, because I think Icky could play guard because he's got that little shorter stature. We talked about that last week, and then Thibodeau,
and he's more seasoned to me.
Yeah, that Giants defensive front. If Wink Martindale, their defensive coordinator, can get them right, like the Ravens, like they have a really good front to be just like those Ravens teams with like Suggs on the end, and who's their big run stop and D tackle that they got?
So they got Williams, Tomlinson is still there, right?
Well, for the Giants, yeah, they still have Tomlinson.
You're talking about the Giants, right?
Yeah, but I was talking about those Ravens teams in years past.
Oh, Haloti Ngata?
Yeah, Haloti Ngata. But they had who's their big run stopper now? It's like
Calais Campbell?
No, that's Jaguar. Oh, yeah.
He's with the Ravens?
Yeah,
go ahead,
Campbell, yeah.
I don't know what year you're talking about,
I thought it was
their
Brandon
defense
Williams.
is always good. Brandon Williams, yes.
Yeah.
Brandon Williams.
Yep.
That's the big one. That's the big dude. That's kind of like our Dalvin Tomlinson. We don't have like that big good nose tackle though, which we kind of lost. But
don't go too far off the deep end. I know you're hype a little bit about the Giants, but you're trying to compare the Giants defense to the Ravens. That's not it.
It's about to happen. It's about to happen this year.
You guys are like the poor man's version.
It's about to happen this year.
I think the Giants have a good defense.
I think they have a good defense, but he's stretching. He's like, the great Ravens D lines. Oh, what's his name? Right, get the great players. Ray Lewis.
Right.
Let me get all the great players. Like, come on, bro, cut it out. Like, I know you're excited, but damn.
Hey, also, this is why I'm a little afraid, because they're talking high on the Giants draft, but they're also talking high on the Jets draft, and whenever those two are together, this is not a good recipe. Like, poor Sauce Gardner goes to the Jets. Great pick. They had Darrelle Revis. Like, he could have success there. It's happened in the past. And then Garrett Wilson is there. They come around and they get him a receiver.
That's a hell of a pick.
Those two together, like, those are great picks. But
Eli Moore with him and Corey.
And they ended up getting in the second round. They get Breece Hall.
And Bryce Hall, yeah. And I told y'all, or Breece Hall, my bad. Yeah. Breece Hall, like, he is I told you guys, he's the best running back in the draft.
But he's on the Jets.
I understand he's on the Jets, but guess what you got? You have a player that can do it all, right? I don't have to sub out and do that. You got a player that can do it all. So with that being said, everybody talked about Zach Wilson. He needs the players around him. What did they do last year? They went and got all the O-linemen they possibly could get. And people are like, damn, y'all just keep drafting O-linemen. Who's he going to throw the ball to? Okay, guess what they did this year? All right, we're going to get players you can throw the ball to. We're going to give you a running back that's going to be consistent, right? Or who we believe can be consistent, right? So, like, you're trying to really see what Zach Wilson can do. Now you're taking that shape. And then, Salah's got his dog at Sauce when he did a little call with Sauce.
Jermaine Johnson, they also stole him because he was sliding down the draft board for some reason. That he was like a high pick defensive end that just kept sliding. But they ended up getting him.
You said Tremaine Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Jermaine Johnson for Florida State. I thought he was a little overrated, but he's definitely what's that buzzword everybody says? Like, not like flashy, but what's that? I don't forgot.
Totally.
When you like explosive, it's like a word they said. Anyway, twitchy. He's twitchy. That's it.
All right.
A lot of the the analysis guys that don't know anything, according to Brian, they're like, man, he's twitchy, man. He has something to him. He's a little twitchy.
Yeah, he got quick twitch.
Yeah.
I'll let Brian.
What do y'all think about the Eagles though?
Oh, that's exactly what I
dang.
said. Jordan Davis. That guy's a monster.
I'm telling you.
And he gets to play next to Fletcher Cox, who's
He gets
like
all-
ridiculously good.
Dog.
Oh, he's gonna learn so much from him. And oh man, the Eagles.
It's gonna be hard to run the ball.
Yeah, you ain't running against them.
Oh my gosh.
Dang. Yeah, I liked what the Eagles did this year
Yeah.
in the draft.
Kenny, you really missed it. You should have came over for the draft. It was one of the greatest things seeing the inner turmoil between Brian and watching the Patriots draft this year. It was one of the most entertaining things ever. They were sitting on the clock and they're like, the only player Brian had on the board that he was like, I would love if they picked Devin Lloyd right here at inside linebacker. And
Yeah,
he was
inside
like,
linebacker.
this would be great. They're like, nah, we're good. Let's trade back. So they traded back. And then he's sitting there. Devin Lloyd goes to the Jaguars at 27. 28 comes up, and the Packers take the defensive tackle, Devontae Wyatt. And there, Brian is sitting there. Who did you want at that time? Who did you want? Were you so disappointed that you just wanted them to trade back and get out of the first round?
Kind
More
of.
picks.
Listen, I told you guys they're probably going to take a fat guy. That's what they did. That's what they did. A non-sexy pick. And they took a
But don't worry,
guard.
a guard from like that. People had him as like a late second round, third round. Like, granted, you throw all draft analysis out the window, but it was just one of the funniest things to hear them say, Cole Strange, and then look over and Brian's like, who?
Who the hell is that? It's okay. Bill Belichick knows what he's doing, bro. Remember what you said a couple weeks back?
No,
he's the greatest coach of all time. Remember that?
Coach,
Remember that?
I didn't say GM.
Hey,
You
One
know
of the
what?
two.
They panned it to Bill Belichick, and he was sitting there reading a book by Al Davis because all he did this year was go in there and be like, well, how did the Raiders draft? I want the fastest running back, I want the fastest receiver, and the fastest corner, and I think we're good. And everything else is fine. What was your 40 speed? That's who we're drafting. That's what the Patriots did this draft.
man, Thornton is a baller though. Like I think people sleep on him if you don't watch the Big 12 games. That first of all, I know you're gonna say it fits the mold of what they've been doing before, right? But the only difference is you didn't like N'Keal Harry because they said, "Oh my gosh, this guy is good." N'Keal Harry is slow as dirt. Thornton is fast as hell, and he produced, right? He produced at Baylor, and I know it's not what you want, right? You want somebody that's proven and all this other stuff, right? Because that's the Patriots way. But he's a good player, bro.
Hey, look, listen, on Thornton real quick. Of all the receivers taken by the Patriots since 2000, or since whenever Belichick was there, besides Matthew Slater, we're not counting him. He's not really a real receiver. Tyquan Thornton is the fastest receiver 40 time that they've ever taken. But he is the slowest 3-cone and 20-yard shuttle that they've ever taken at receiver. The guy is straight line fast. He's not quick. He's not.
Have you seen his film? Have you seen this film at Baylor?
Hey, man, is he going to be able to run a quick slant for me? Or is he going to have to just run fades all day?
He can run a quick slant, bro. I'm just letting you know. Don't let it fool you. If you look at his Baylor tape, that boy is nice.
I know.
Right.
But listen, here's another thing that I've found out about this draft class for the Patriots. I think the first 4 picks that they took were some of the highest RAS friggin' scores in the draft at their position. So advanced analytics went into this, and you all know how I freaking hate advanced analytics. But also, this doesn't seem like a Belichick type draft class. And I told Ryan this, that they showed the war room of the Patriots in the second round. Belichick wasn't even in there. But
He's never there though.
no, he was there in the first round because he was on the phone with Cole Strange. He wasn't in the war room for the second round while they're making picks. Like, I think that draft privileges were taken away from him. I think that Al Groh their new GM. That's who was making the picks. And that guy, you should hear his interview talking about how fast Cole Strange is and how if you want to be good, you got to be fast. And all he talks about is these guys' combine results. And, like, it's like the ultimate, like, nerd Madden player. That's what it reminded me of. And so it's just none of it makes sense. It doesn't fit the mold that Belichick has had for 20 years.
So
like it was the weirdest draft ever. Look, if they hit, they hit. Like I said, we don't know, but it was just weird.
Hey, Brian is upset, to say the least. That's what we can say.
I'm not upset. I just think it's the end of an era. I think that Belichick's getting worked out of there.
It's been the end of an era ever since Brady left. That was the worst thing that you guys did.
Well, okay, I agree. They should have kept him, but
because Kraft is like, I'm gonna believe in you because it's not about one player, it's about the team. And then it's like, damn, it really is Brady. Never mind. And that's what you see.
Yeah, maybe.
Damn.
I would say this. In my opinion, a couple of takeaways before we close it out is, I didn't like Ryan Tannehill saying that about Malik Willis when they drafted him.
What?
Why?
Yeah,
It's
why?
not his job to
No,
mentor
it
It's
him.
not. It doesn't matter if it's not your job. He's still your team at the end of the day. So, like, when you say it already, you're already messing up the top, bro. You can't play in the NFL forever.
Hold on,
Bro,
so,
right?
What
so
was
is it okay
his,
for
what was the
Tom Brady to
question
say
that
it?
was asked?
Yeah, is it okay for Tom Brady to say it? Is it okay for Aaron Rodgers to say it? Because those guys don't help their freaking backup quarterbacks at all.
Man, they helped him.
No, they don't.
They helped him. Yes, they do, man. They go in there all the time. They give nuggets. That doesn't happen in
Tom
the NFL.
Brady
That does not happen.
orchestrated the Jimmy Garoppolo trade out of New England because he was like, it's either him
Just
or me.
because that's what he said. It's either him or me. That doesn't mean
Right,
that
'cause
I'm not willing to help. It's at the end of the day, this man got to put food on the table for his family. So at the end of the day, he's gonna say,
Man.
"Listen, bro, y'all either want him or me." I get it. That's not gonna stop him from helping, right? You can draft somebody in, and you can see the writing on the wall. Tannehill, we get it, right? But they're looking at the same thing in the future. Like, man, we can get a top talent, right? Steve McNair. That's what you think about it when they like think about Tennessee. Like, oh man, you know what I mean? And then you sit here, oh, that's not my job. We didn't say it's your job, okay? Like, we're not saying that, but we're like, oh, you're gonna mentor him, and that's not my job. We get it, bro. We understand that. But at the end of the day, like, you're gonna help your teammate out. You want to see him succeed. Like, at the end of the day, like, you already got your check. It's not like he didn't get money. He's getting paid, and it's like, oh man, this is my contract year. You already got your money, bro. You got $100+ million. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but he's still.
What are you talking about? That's from.
He's not saying like he is gonna set him up for failure. All he's saying is that, like, yeah, we're gonna. I mean, if he learns from me, good. But like, it's not my job to teach him.
When you say it like that, you can say that without like, he didn't have to go and say that. He could have said, yeah, I can, like,
Don't ask
you
him
can say,
about
yeah, I
Malik.
can help him out.
What these reporters?
But when
should
you
be-
say
they-
that, they did it for a reason, right? But when you come off like that and you say like, yeah, if he learned from me, he learned from me, but I ain't gonna go out, like, it makes it seem like you have this animosity already, right? Rather than be like, nah, yeah, man, I'll teach you what I know, but of course, no player is ever going to teach you all his gems because he's gonna teach you a little bit, but not everything, right? He could have just said that and kept it classy. That's all I'm saying. Because even though he is, I still think he's a classy guy. When it comes off to him a little bit like, I don't want to use certain words because I don't know. I know the definition. I'm about to say abrasive, but I don't think that's a proper terminology for it. But
a good
anyway,
one.
yeah, a little abrasive, right? As if he's like, I don't want to help him, right? So. Thank you. Shout out to the reporter.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I think that you should want to stick up for your job, and that is a direct threat to his job.
You have the money.
It's not about the money. He wants to play because he's playing for his next bag.
Do you understand that Chase Daniels has been in the league and still playing back? Like, I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, it's how things come off, right? You don't know how that affects your team. You know, your team look at them like, damn, bro, that's how you feel. Like,
What
damn, why you
team?
acting like that? Like,
They already got rid of their receiver. What does he care?
Okay, all right, forget it. Forget it.
Yeah.
You got it.
And he's coming up. Next year is his. Next year is his last year on the deal. Not 2022, but 2023. So like, I mean, he's coming up. He's halfway done with his deal. He's only got 2 years
So they're
left.
not supposed to. They're never supposed to draft another quarterback. At least to have a solid back. Who's their backup?
No, they can, but it's not his job to mentor that guy. It's the coaching staff.
Yeah.
I
That's
find
not
nothing
easy
wrong
like
with
that,
that
bro.
at all.
All right, cool.
Hey, it's called competition.
That's not how it works, bro. It's still a code, right? I understand. Like in the real world, it's dog eat dog mentality, kill to be. I get all that shit, but when you talk about football, at the end of the day, it's still a code. Yeah, I understand that this guy is going to compete for my position. Everybody's competing, but that doesn't stop you from still trying to see him succeed or want him to succeed as well, right? Because that doesn't mean he's going to be there. They could do the same thing they did to Aaron Rodgers, and then with Jordan Love, like
And
okay,
Favre
cool,
was a
but
douche
really we
to
got to
him.
trade him.
Favre was
That
was
we
a
that
jerk.
we know.
No,
Right.
it's
For what? We weren't there. Okay. I'm telling you that every time you see something on media, they will portray whatever it needs to portray, right? I get it in that case. I just thought he could handle it better. That's my whole spiel on it. That's it. Like, I didn't think he needed to do all that. That's all. Just PR, right? Just because I think it affects the Titans more than anything. Because players look at that more than y'all think. Players actually look at that shit like, damn, they drafted him, and that's how you're like, wow, that's weird. They do that. I don't want,
Hey,
I'm a
I
low-key
got
Titans guy.
one more take real quick, or not take, but a question for you guys. What are the Seahawks doing? Like, just in general, like what is going on up there?
They're trying to have a stable running backs.
Yeah, but like what? Like who's gonna throw the ball?
Well, there's nobody in the quarterback draft that's better than Drew Lock.
I have it on authority that Geno Smith might be in favor to start there.
If that's the case, they can just burn the Seattle Seahawks. Because last year that boy did Nathaniel. Geno Smith, arguably, is probably the biggest bust besides Jamarcus Russell.
What are you
quarterback
talking
wise.
about? He ended one of the longest consecutive quarterback starting streaks in NFL history. Like it was, he benched Eli Manning to get this guy on the field. That's your boy McAdoo down there in Carolina.
yeah, boy.
I'm not even getting
Bro,
started with
if
you.
I got to ask one question to like an NFL person, I'd be like, bro, what were you thinking? Like that was single-handedly the single decision that got him booted out of New York. Like, there's no way. We were already out of the playoffs, and they were like, nah, Gino, you're going in there.
I like Geno Smith and West Virginia. Everybody's like, oh my God, he's a god. Like this dude is crazy. Like West Virginia is snapping. His numbers was crazy, right? So everybody thought that was going to translate. And then after that, they get to the Jets, and it's like, what? Like this dude is not good. Like why? No, he just needs a year. And then after that, he's just a quality backup guy.
Who picked
that
him?
You know if you. I thought it was the Jets.
I mean, like, was it still Rex Ryan? I'm just wondering if he went 0 for 2 on quarterbacks or not.
2013.
'Cause
I don't know who was.
I don't know.
Because
I don't know who.
Mark Sanchez, old butt fumble himself.
Didn't he get a tattoo of him?
Mark Sanchez was all right when they first started.
Yeah, they went to like 2 or 3 AFC championship
AFC
games.
championships.
They went to back-to-back AFC championships. You're right.
Yeah, too.
And it had nothing to do with Mark Sanchez. It had everything to do with that defense.
The defense is fire.
That
now.
defense was gross. Yeah.
But, I don't know, man. I didn't really have too much takeaways for that. I thought the Bills did a hell of a thing, getting, what's his name? Cook, Dalvin Cook's little brother as a running back. I thought that was a little steal, low-key, that people didn't pay attention to, which is good finally because Zach Moss and Devin Singletary is not it. So I think that's a big pickup.
I agree. For the longest time, I was a big proponent of Devin Singletary because he looks so shifty and good in like 5 yards. But then you realize like he can't break away from nobody. Like
He's slow.
He's
But guess what? That's FAU film that they looked at. Like, oh my gosh, look how elusive he is. In Atlantic Sun, or the Sun Belt, whatever conference they in. Like, what? What are we talking about? They going against FIU, Charlotte. And we talking about the guy's explosive. Who's that sound like to me? Sauce Gardner. Anyway.
Oh, get out of here.
Okay. Stop.
So if you guys don't have any takeaways, man, we can go ahead and or anything else to say. We can close this out. Anything?
Nope, I
Any
got nothing.
closing comments?
I think.
No.
Well, I could go all day if I just keep looking at this thing. So I'll stop.
One player right now before we close it out. One player right now from this draft that you think is going to be a prime time player, superstar in the future.
Ooh, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna stick to the first round. I'm just gonna pick a first round player
For the first round?
I'm,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna because I have the list up, so I'm gonna go through and look.
Well, who's yours, Kenny? He asked a question and he's not ready.
Yeah. No. It's not that I'm not ready. I think that it's either going to be. I don't want to say it. I think it's going to be a defensive player, right? I think Stingley Jr. Contrary to what people believe, he's going to ball out, right? So I think it's going to be him or it's going to be Jordan Davis. Like I literally think that he has the tools, and I know his conditioning will get pushed even further. The athleticism of him alone, I might even forget Stingley. We're going to just say Davis. Like the athleticism on him alone and what he can do by getting mentored by Fletcher Cox.
I got mine. Mine's gonna be Kyle Hamilton, the safety for he went to Baltimore. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I got you got nothing. I mean, Ed Reed's gonna come back and help him out.
That's good. That's pretty good. Mine's going to be a two-parter because it's going to be the 2022 NFL Rookie Defensive Player of the Year, Kayvon Thibodeau, the best pass rusher in the draft, going to a pass rusher needed team. He is going to ball out, and he's playing in the NFC least.
Thanks a lot.
He's in the NFC least. He's going to be sacking quarterbacks, eating them. Oh, it's going to be great. 10 sacks, baby. That's what he's going to have.
Whoa.
Sack lunch, baby. A sack lunch? Come on now.
Lunch.
You never heard of that? Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just playing with you, bro. You got it. All right, well, you guys hear it there, man. I'm going to say that if you're saying he's the defensive player of the year, I'm saying that Jordan Davis is going to be defensive player of the year. So.
Ooh, that'd be really balling out if a D tackle wins that. I'm just saying, like,
guy? He's not a sack guy, right?
No, he's more of a run stopper.
But the fact when you watch him on film, it pops out like he's just like, God,
but that doesn't show up on stats though, and that's what those awards go by.
It goes by stats, and a lot of that's going to be credited to like him playing next to Fletcher Cox, just in terms of like voting. They'll go, unless Fletcher Cox gets injured, and like the Eagles defense doesn't skip a beat. Maybe I can foresee, and he gets a lot of tackles for losses. Then
okay,
that'd be his stat.
That's just a hard. That's a hard.
Stingley Jr.
All
right, that one's good.
All right,
you're gonna be
he's gonna be better. He's gonna have a better career than Sauce Gardner.
I mean, they're both of those teams are gonna have a lot of throwing against him. So
statistically, he's gonna have a better career than Sauce Gardner.
I think Stingley's just in a better position right now, in a better environment. Because
I don't care what you're saying. I'm saying statistically, he's gonna have a better.
The Jets
career.
are terrible. They're a terrible organization.
They have a defensive minded coach.
I'm well aware.
Right.
It's the environment, bro. It's just that team.
All right.
It's not the coach. It's not the players. It's the owner.
Hold up.
Don't shoot me. I'm just messenger, bro. I'm just.
It's kind of like the Commanders. They just have an awful owner, and that's probably a direct result of them never being really that great.
I have some people in my ear telling me certain things, so I'm just putting it out to the people.
So for Stingley might have a good year, but you also got to remember like who's the best receiver in his division that he's going to be going up against. Jackson.
I said of his career.
Yeah,
I know, but like unless one of these he's going to be going up against Burks. Burks is just drafted against the Titans. He's going to be the best receiver he goes against.
Robert Woods.
Where's Woods at? Oh, well, yeah.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Of his career.
Christian Kirk.
Hey, anyway, all right, man.
Sauce Gardner's got to go up against N'Keal Harry.
Yeah, bro.
It's going to be hard on
that.
Bye.
And Diggs.
Devontae Parker, though, is a real trouble.
Tariq Hill.
Yeah, that's true.
So, he's just going to have a harder time. So, you're going to get your chance, Kenny, to be like, I told you so this year.
If he's that guy that's supposed to be shut down, I don't want to hear all that, man. Don't start churching for him now. At the end of the day, I don't want to hear it. Like I said, man, we appreciate you guys joining us. I'm not listening to these guys, man, because they just say, oh, man, nobody's calling him and all this time. He's a baller. And now they're saying, but you have to play against good receivers. But what about Tariq Hill? What about Devontae Parker?
That's all right. We got all next season to say it.
We're
not hearing about it.
We're at least putting our neck on the line, Kenny, and having hot takes, and you're out here just playing conservative, just poking holes in everyone else's theories.
That's what I do. I'm the hole poker.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Anyway,
we try to keep this PG.
Cut that out. Cut that out. No. Cut that out. Hey, man, we appreciate everything, man. We'll catch you guys next week. Like, subscribe, follow us on all the socials, and we appreciate it. Peace.
All pokers out.